I'm going to try not to get screaming and totally out of control on this particular podcast like I have lately. And the reason it's finally dawned on me it doesn't do any good to get this angry as I've gotten, and as verbally violent as I've gotten. And the reason I say it does no good is because there's nothing that Trump can do to fuck up this country that he hasn't already done. We know he's a liar and a grifter. That article in the New York Times this morning was a mind fuck. Everything about the man is a liar. Everything about him. The only time he had any success whatsoever was when his daddy was helping him. He's a failure, a loser, and a liar. He will do what he has to do in his fucked up brain to destroy the underpinnings of this country. He is working that way now. So for me to shout and scream and yell, I mean, I may still shout, but for me to get as furious as I've gotten, there's no point. The only thing that can stop him will be the Democrats in Congress. And if there is just 7 or 8 Republicans who are not these fucked up, insane Christians, who are real conservatives, not these neo-fascists that are giving Trump daily blowjobs. If there are a few Republicans in the Senate who have any dignity left, any self-respect left, any respect for the oath they took in the country they allegedly serve, they will stop this fucker. Was it yesterday, Kathy, that the shooting occurred in Denver, suburb of Denver? Was it Tuesday? Just seems so long ago, especially, I'm sure, for the parents of the boy who has now died. I don't know what to say about these kinds of situations anymore. There's nothing to say. We live in a sick, violent, capitalist country. We do. We just do. There will never be an end to the murders and the shootings. Never. I have no idea what to do about schools and churches and synagogues and mosques, because these sick fuckers who get their hands on weapons thanks to the NRA and the dirty, filthy, death-oriented bastards who run the NRA, people like this fucking Oliver North and this miserable Wayne LaPierre and everybody that sits on their board, they are anti-life. It's not going to stop. So how do you protect your child? I don't know. I think about, there's not a fucking day that goes by that I don't think about my 14-year-old daughter going off to high school. Kathy drops her off in the morning. I pick her up in the afternoon. I have no fucking idea what might happen while she's in school. Molly is fully aware of the dangers now in just being an American. Can you fucking believe this? But she's aware, as are most of her classmates, which doesn't prevent some sick fuck from walking in to a classroom with a weapon and opening fire. But if there is a warning, Molly, and if you have kids or grandkids that are in high school, middle school, I hope yours know what to do too. If there is a warning, Molly knows what to do, as do her classmates. But listen, just listen to this. This is how it was reported in the Post. It was 3 days before the last day of school. And the students inside Miss Harper's English classroom were whiling away the last period of the day watching The Princess Bride. when one of their classmates walked in late and pulled out a gun. Quote, the only thing he said out loud to the students was, "Don't you move," said Nui Giasoli, an 18-year-old senior who was in the class at the time. In that moment, she recalled, Kendrick Castillo, a gentle teenager fascinated by cars and engineering, lunged to stop the gunman and was shot dead. There's somebody who deserves the Medal of Freedom or the Congressional Medal of Honor, not Tiger fucking Woods. I have nothing against Tiger Woods. But here's somebody who gave his life attempting to defend his friends. In that moment, when the boy lunged, Miss Giasoli recalled, his life hung in the balance, but for some reason, he was willing to make the attempt. He's a fucking high school student. Maybe he should be reaching out to hand somebody a textbook, or reaching out to maybe get a note about what they're going to do on the weekend. But this kid reached out with his entire body to stop a killer and was shot dead. So today, parents and students in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, a suburb of Denver, described young Mr. Castillo's actions as the latest act of self-sacrifice. Come on, Mike. By students who now find themselves on the front lines of gun violence in America. Can you fucking believe this? This is where we live now. Students, people in a mosque, people in a synagogue, people in a church are on the front lines of gun violence thanks to the Republicans, you dirty fuckers, and thanks to the NRA. May all of you go to your fucking hell and burn for all eternity, you dirty bastards. And still they'll do nothing. This is a sick place to live. This is a sick place to live, the United States. Sick, dangerous, fucked up. Look at our leadership. Look at the governors of the states. Our governor here in Georgia yesterday signed the so-called heartbeat bill. What a fucking phony name that is. Which means, oh yeah, abortions are still legal up to 6 weeks, when most women don't even fucking know they're pregnant. And it has nothing to do, as our pissy governor said, with, ooh, every life is precious. Oh, fuck you, governor. What it means is you Christian fucks will not stop enforcing women back into the role that the ancient Hebrews gave to women. And before that, this fucking God of the Jews and the Muslims and the Christians, this fucked up, sick deity said, oh, Eve, you took the fruit? Bitch! Bitch! I'm going to condemn every fucking human being to death because you ate the fruit. What a fucking insane belief to think that there was a supernatural being that sick. But never mind. Billions of people follow this horse shit. Kids now find themselves on the front lines of fighting off gunmen in America. High school kids, middle school kids. The young lady, Miss Giasoli, said Mr. Castillo's split-second decision to lunge for the gunman gave the other students just a precious few seconds to dive under their desk or rush the gunman. Ms. Giasoli said that a cluster of boys then tackled the gunman, allowing her and others to flee the classroom. This is like a fucking combat zone. It's a high school. It's a high school. These dirty, rotten NRA and Republican bastards. I spit on you. I spit on all of you. God. Ms. Giasoli said in her living room today, quote, I don't have enough words. They didn't have to risk their lives to save the 15 of us who were left. The boys who tackled the killer. Schools across Colorado's so-called Front Range, in front of the mountains, have amped up or tried to amp up their security. They've been on alert the past couple of weeks because the 20th anniversary of the slaughter at Columbine is approaching. And then came the news that a killer had opened fire on a classroom at the University of North Carolina in Charlotte, killing 2 and wounding 4. Ms. Giasoli, who is talking to the Post, said, quote, you always have to think, what if this was my school? End quote. Ms. Giasoli said the seniors stayed close to one another yesterday afternoon as SWAT teams cleared their school and then took the kids to a rec center where thousands of anxious parents waited to reunite with them. They hugged one another, broke down sobbing in groups as they learned that Mr. Castillo, also a senior, had been murdered. Ms. Giasoli said the tight-knit class, already tight-knit, was now bonded by grief and shock. Not by who won the big football game, not by who won the big basketball game, not by who is going to be valedictorian, not by how many kids made the honor roll, but because of fucking murder in their school, sanctioned by the NRA and the Republicans. That's how they're going to be bonded. I knew I couldn't last. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.